right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Sunday, September 7th. Kenneth Price is here with Jody and Michelle. And we're going to talk about psychiatric sobriety for the next hour. And we're going to be joined by people who come on late. And we're going to record this to YouTube, and we're going to unwind ourselves from everything that's been causing us pain and mental illness for the last, several decades. This is my contribution, because when a person emerges from mental illness, the way to stay emerged is they have to share this miracle. I call it a miracle. This is my 5-minute introduction. We do these Zoom calls every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time. Who am I? What do I do? What do we do? I am a man who was diagnosed with mental illnesses for 25 years and was caught in the spider web of psychiatry. It was a path I chose, not consciously, but subconsciously. And in my 40s, early 50s, I said, enough is enough. I've got to challenge the hypothesis. Do I really need these pills for the rest of my life? And when I really answered that question myself, I realized I had to get off these pills and I had to find a better way. And boy, did it take a lot of work. And you know what? I can't not share this work with other people. It's a complicated rabbit hole, but basically, in a nutshell, I say it every time: fear got me stuck and love busted me out. So I started hosting these Zoom calls almost 2 years ago, and we just come on board, we record these, and we unwind ourselves. We join. I actually said last week, I consider this to be, at this point, it's basically just a drop-in center, and I love that. So I'm a Course in Miracles student, so that's the path that I chose to emerge myself from all of my madness, whatever people bring in here. We have a man who came on board last week, born again Christian. Great. I want to hear how that's working for you. As long as we can find a loving presence in our life that is going to help us witness the mental illness from a detached perspective, realize we're not the one having the mental illness. Boom. We're gonna all get the hell out of Dodge together. I call it a ministry because when it really got down to it, everything I tried failed. Absolutely everything that the dream character Kenneth Stephen Price tried failed. Because Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created the problem. I had to find a new mind. I had to find a higher mind. I had to find a higher power. I guess in a nutshell, come down to it, God. It took grace to emerge my soul from that madness. When I say higher power, I'm using that language because I'm a 12-stepper from way back, and that's why I call it psychiatric sobriety. Not that anything's wrong with psychiatry, not that anything's bad with psychiatry, but we're going to get sober from psychiatry. And the 12 steps were formulated by Bill Wilson in the 1930s, and the first 2 steps admitted we were powerless and came to believe in a power greater than ourselves. So that's my story. That's my introduction. I'm sticking to it. Disclaimers, folks. Remember, we're not telling anybody anything's wrong with psychiatry. We're not here to protest psychiatry. We're not here to tell you need to get off your pills. We chose to exit psychiatry. We chose to get off our pills, and we're going to share experience, strength, and hope with you for the next hour. Okay. Ministry, not Christian, but ministry, a God of your understanding. I use the Course in Miracles, and so I start off each one of these calls with the healer's prayer, which goes like this. We are here only to be truly helpful, and we are here to represent him or her who sent us. We do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he or she who sent us will direct us. We are content to be wherever he or she wishes, knowing that he or she goes there with us, and we will be healed as we let him or her teach us how to heal. Okay, let's do gallery view. Marcy, hi. Marcy's been keeping me afloat. She writes me all these wonderful notes, encouraging me to keep going. So here we are. What's been going on, Marcy and Jody? What's been going on your week? How are you? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to unwind?
Oh, wow. Well, okay, so I'm still kind of doing my, how you got injured and you were like in bed you were having to rest your back. Yeah. It's hard enough like for, I guess, regular people to do something like that, but when you're detoxing and anyways, I overdid it. I did not listen to Spirit. Spirit told me to slow down. So yeah, God, I'm trying to figure out, why do I have such a hard time with that message? Like, just slow down. Wouldn't most people be like, "Ooh, I get to slow down. Ooh, I get to," but not me. No. So anyways, so yeah, I did not listen to Spirit. And I saw that little license plate I told you guys about that said the turtle wins. So that was like my little, and I knew, you just know, you feel it in your heart that you're being guided, but I did not listen. And so I have crutches, and my husband has a desk with like an office chair, and I figured out I can like ride it around the house, so I'm like, I'm riding an office chair because I can't walk. So what I'm like really getting this week is I guess I might have, like, I guess they call it like tendonitis, but I'm going to call it like slow the F down itis, right? Because it's just the universe saying, you know what? You're reaching out for Spirit, you're working on these things, but you refuse to slow down and get quiet. So, um, and you know what? So, okay, so I'm looking at all Marcy's efforting, because Marcy loves to effort and research and, just be in control. I mean, like a control freak. And I saw something, and it's from the course, but I feel like it can apply to anyone. And it basically says, it's, I guess, lesson, I think 189, something like that. Anyways, basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, of course, because, the course can be kind of long and wordy. But the little gist, excuse me, that hit me was, is it not he who knows the way to you? You need not know the way to him. Wow, there's some rest in that. Like, I'm working and struggling and trying to meditate and do everything I need to do to get to God. Well, that's just me. That's just Marcy being crazy, because that's crazy, because I think God knows where I'm at. Just rest and allow. That's the other word I got, was just allow, you know? So that's my week. And I'm so curious to hear what tools you used when you were stuck in bed. What do you do when, okay, so I think what I'm trying to say is, what I was doing to help me work through my detox is use exercise as like a, stress reliever. But I'm injured, so I can't exercise. So I have this energy in me, and I'm trying to learn ways to, I don't know, like, work through it, I guess. Or, so anyways, that's just where I'm coming from. I'm kind of, I feel like I've had a really good week. I feel like I'm learning, but I also feel I'm seeing myself more and more like a little kid that doesn't want to go sit in I don't want to sit still, and I don't want to pay attention. I want to go do my own thing, and I know where my own thing gets me, and I don't want that anymore. So that's me.
Well, I already spoke with the introduction, so maybe Jody can speak to that. I guess the question was, what do we do when we're stuck in bed?
Yeah. Or when one of our coping skills has been temporarily made unavailable or whatever.
That's a good question.
What I'm really focusing on is Keith Kavanaugh videos, and he's always saying, you are never upset for the reason you think you are. I am never upset for the reason that I think I am. I'm not upset because I don't have a coping skill that's going to work for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing to fix. There's absolutely nothing to fix here.
Yes.
So those two things really help me realize I'm stuck in ego.
You're what?
I'm stuck in ego. I'm being the dream character. That's the problem. I only have one problem ever. The mistaken identity problem.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I identifying with right now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jay, make some popcorn. Here I come. Get back
Yes.
up in the theater.
His welcome, right? I've
It's
been
your
working on it
welcome.
too. Yeah, I've
Are
been
you
working on
welcoming it?
welcoming. Yes. Welcoming it. Yes.
Or are you
Yes.
trying to fix it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so I ask myself all of these questions, and that helps me to recognize I'm being the dream character right now. That's my problem. That's why I'm upset. I keep saying I keep saying me. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Jay,
Yes.
here I come. Make some popcorn.
You know, speaking of the dream character, so I've been watching a lot of Terrence Adams. I think his last name is Adams. Anyways, he's on YouTube. He's like a non-dual kind of, anyways. And something that he talks about is he's like, if you had amnesia, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? If you suddenly lost, I love it. If you suddenly lost all your memories and all your past, and you wake up and you look in the mirror and you don't even recognize your face, who's that person? So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get at the big me, the big I, the spirit, I guess.
Who would you be without all your stories?
Yes. Yeah.
Who would I be without all my stories?
Yes. There's a question to sit with. Yes.
And I got something to share with the group. I got maxed out on the Course in Miracles this week. I got maxed out. Okay, think fast, Rabbit. What do you do? And then I found this this YouTube channel on near-death experiences. And then I decided to revisit Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. I keep it plugged in. I keep these just plugged in 24/7. When I drive, when I'm at work, when I'm up here in bed because I can't move, video after video. It's the same. And this is interesting. I mean, because I'm an intellectual, that's why I gravitate towards the Course in Miracles. But because I'm an intellectual, I have to compare all these paths. But I realize they're all saying the same thing. When you get down to it. I know, wonderful. They're just all of them. That's why I call it asteroids. There's just one asteroid, and we're just circling it with this little, spaceship firing, missiles at it. The self, the dream character, not in a violent way. I tried. That was my mistake in the beginning. Oh, I want to tear apart my dream character. I don't like it. It won't work. You have to gently unbelieve in it. But everything that we do here, I mean, Marcy, who's that name? Terrence Adams, Adam. Keith Kavanaugh, aren't all these teachers saying the same thing? And it's not true, but they're kindly, gently, not real, untrue, not real, untrue. And all of a sudden something from inside out, it's not an outside in, it's an inside out, starts to bubble out. Poof. Miracle. In my case, they're hair bands. More of them, by the way. I don't know where they're coming from. That's why I like, I'm finding more of them. And that's why I like the near-death experiences. They're all saying, they come back and they say, first of all, they say there are no words. So no matter, don't believe a word I say, but just listen to the message I've come to share. And one of them said, we're surrounded by spirit guides and angels. And I have to remind myself every day to anchor this. This is why I love this call. We've not said anything new in the last year, nothing new, but we just keep going around and around again and again, over and over. We're like practicing the piano. We're practicing together. Practice. Hi, beloved.
Hey, good to see you, Jody. Yeah, good to see you. You look beautiful.
Breakthroughs have been in progress.
I didn't even hear that. It's hard for me to hear. I'm on my phone, so I don't know why the volume is so low. Say that again, please.
Breakthroughs have been in progress.
Oh,
And what I was telling Jody before we started the recording, I told her, you didn't learn this. I said to her, she earned this. It's true
Yes.
for all of us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to record these. Laverne, when she calls it the grist, people call it the dark night of the soul. I don't care what you call it, but we got to go through it together. Unbelieve it.
Mhm.
When it's happening, it's anything but unbelievable. When it's happening, it's the most believable thing. It's the wizard. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. But boy, oh boy, does that fire seem real. But when you get to the other side, maybe you can share with us, Jody, what it feels like. What is the feeling itself? Hey, Danny, we'll get to you in a minute. But just share with us what there's got to be can you put words to the feeling?
Yeah, it's liberating. Because when we let go of our stories, like when we let go of what is weighing us down, when I let go of all of the BS that's not really me, and I have that freedom, and there's peace. Because when I remove the blocks to love, I'm full of love. Because it's all of those blocks that aren't me, they don't belong. And the fire is real. It's fucking hot and it's necessary.
My friend Dale Crow, he used the word. He calls it the burn. And just for this YouTube recording, Jody, can you kind of like briefly give our audience, a little snippet of your story so they can see, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now?
Gosh, a snippet, that's impossible. I'll try. So 13 years ago, I woke up strapped to a hospital bed. I had been in the mental health system for well over a decade, being polydrugged. I was given 10 mental illness diagnoses. I was taking 26 prescribed pills a day. I was living in hell, and I had been there for a very, very long time. And so rock bottom, I had to make some changes, got off all the drugs, started studying with a Tao grandmaster, went all the way down that path, became a healer, became a soul communicator, thought I knew what was going on, transformed every aspect of my life, became a healer, taught other people how to do this too. And then A Course in Miracles came into my world and smacked it upside the head and tore everything apart. And then I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know how the fuck I made this huge transformation, because the reality is I was living in hell for really my whole life. At 32, I hit rock bottom. I had a very traumatic childhood. I could go back into all of the stories. Go to my YouTube channel and look at my emergence journey. Go to Kenneth's, it's on there too. Pay attention to some of the Zoom meetings. We share our stories here. I thought I knew what was going on because I was so identified with my ego. And so then I learned through A Course in Miracles that I don't know what's going on. And so I'm undoing all of these stories about being a healer and even being a recovery coach and a recovery and wellness consultant and a coach, because I've transformed. So now I teach others how to do that. I'm a way shower. I show people the way. What the fuck am I doing? I'm just sharing more stories. I'm helping you to get more involved in your story. It's just like such, wow. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. So I'm waking up. I'm learning that this recovery journey is actually a journey of waking up. Who am I really? Who am I under these stories? Who would I be if I didn't have my stories? That's a good question. So I just wrote down yesterday, meditation is the practice of practicing being aware of my awareness.
Danny, did you hear that? Danny, I actually wanted to introduce you to Joni. Well, also, I think you've met Marcy and also Beloved. Danny's brand new, and we had an outreach call, about a week ago, and he came on last Sunday. But Danny, how was that for a testimony? This is what I want to use this YouTube channel and Zoom call for, is to inspire others. And Jody just shared, someone who could possibly have gone down that far has actually gone up this far. It's a beautiful thing that's happening here. People think, oh, that's the worst thing that could happen. I tend to disagree because of all that. It's my same spiel, not in spite.
You know what? Those worst things that happened to me were actually the best things. They were blessings in disguise. Every single one of them, including my son dying.
This is why I record these.
That's getting real. The hardest things that you will go through in this life are your biggest blessings.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. Just if you're able to survive them, yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to come out in one piece. Whatever hell you fall, whatever pit you fall into, you need to be able to get yourself out of it. And if you can, then yeah, you're gonna be a lot stronger because you've been through it. That's why, every single chance I get to talk to somebody that's older, like in their 70s or 80s, I jump on a chance just because, they've been through it. They've been through it more than once, and they got that wisdom, And if you can, whatever happens, whatever you're going through, if you can survive that, then yeah, man, you're gonna be way more solid than you were before. You have to, and sometimes you have to suffer, man. Like for me, like in my path, I had to go to a crazy withdrawal, and then I ran out of these devil pills that I call them, and I went to a crazy withdrawal for like 5 days until I was able to get more, and that right there made me stop drinking. You know what I mean? That right there made me stop smoking and doing other illicit drugs and stuff like that. And now I'm just in the journey of trying to get off these things. And I dropped a dose already. I went down on the dosage on Tuesday, so that's a big deal. So I'm dropping again, not this week, but the week after. I'm dropping it down to, I'll be at 1.4 from 2 milligrams. So I mean, the progress is it's there, it's steady, it's slow. Like I said, hopefully by the end of December, I'll be looking at my last dosages of this hell. God willing, right?
It's funny, Dan, that you use the word slow, because before you came on, and even last week, Marcy put the bug in my ear that the turtle wins the race.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree, but at the same time, you do need to have a healthy medium. You know what I mean? You can't like let's say, for example, because I know people do taper off for years. I personally don't think that's necessary. That's me, though. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, their circumstances are different. I think once you get to that point, I just feel that they're just scared of getting off of it. There's not even a dependence anymore. It's just fear, and I understand that because as I come lower, like I guess I can see it, but I think at some point it just becomes fear. You got to have a healthy medium. If not, you're just going to be prolonging the withdrawal symptoms of, you know what I mean? You go for a year or two, you're just prolonging the withdrawal symptoms. You got to have a healthy medium. And also I aimed at like 4.5 months, maybe 5. You know, I mean, I think that's, you know, I think that's more than enough time, I think. And obviously you got to develop those tools, like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta get those tools. Like obviously I'm taking kratom, I'm taking kava kava, you know, I'm looking at, you know, microdosing with shrooms and stuff like that. I mean, is it frowned upon? Sure. Do I care? Hell no, man. I don't give a shit. You know, you think I'm gonna care, you know, what you know, the like, you know, what somebody thinks? Like, nah, this is my mental health. I need to get myself on check as, you know, as fast as I possibly can, you know. And like I said, then that's, I don't know, that's just how I see it.
I see Kathy coming on board. Oh, Dan, if there's one more thing I can share, because Dan, you haven't met a lot of our regulars. Dan comes, and I think, Dan, you said you came from a military background. Is that correct? You were in,
Yeah.
was it Iran or Iraq? I don't remember where you said.
So Fallujah, I was in Fallujah, Iraq.
Okay, so we're getting discipline. You see, you're the first person who's come into this room who's had a military, and from what I understand about the military, it's discipline. You've established already discipline. You've got the archetype of discipline, and now it gets transferred from one form to another. That's what I sense with you. You're carrying over the archetype of discipline into now the spiritual realm as well, because you and I had that long conversation. We agreed this can't be done without a spiritual discipline. This can't be done without a higher power. And you share with me a little bit about your faith, which I was very, eager to hear.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is not the only, drug mistake I've made. I've dabbled, in quite a few things, and I believe drugs do open you up to like something else that's more out there, something else that we don't see on a daily basis, right? Call it another dimension, call it whatever, but yeah, like in my little drug escapades, like I've seen things, I've heard things and stuff like that, and it's not like I'm out here like wired out of my mind, you know what I mean? Like, with LSD or some crazy stuff make me hallucinate a lot. They're just like regular drugs. You're just like up, or whatever the case might be. So I don't know, like that's just what has made me really, I ask God and for things, and I always, like no matter how bad a situation seems to be, like, you always seem to get ahead of it. You know what I mean? I think there's something behind that. Like it's not just, oh, you got lucky. Like I don't believe in luck. Like it's just, God's God. He's never gonna give us more than we can handle. And that's why, even in the worst situation, like right then and there, you might have the biggest moment of weakness, and you can just feel like you're about to have a panic attack or whatever the case is. But it always seems to pass. You know what I mean? It always seems to pass for a reason, and then like you get a different perspective on things, and like it is hard. I'm not gonna say it's not, man. It's one of the hardest things I'm possibly ever gonna do. You know, um, for sure, man. It's one of the hardest things, and but it's like but you get these experiences, and hopefully you grow from them. Hopefully you do something with it. Like I'm really thinking about opening up a recovery center, just because the resources suck. Like nobody cares, man. Like if you don't fit their agenda, if you don't fit their financial, financial pursuits that they're looking for, or the proper insurance, like they'll just, oh yeah, I've called like a few rehabs myself before. I just decided to just do it alone. But like, oh yeah, it seems like you're not a proper fit, and that's it, man. That's all I say. Like, really, dude? You're just gonna throw me away like that? All right, dude, that's cool. And that aspect, it's pretty scary, because at the end of the day, yeah, we're doing this alone.
Dan, I'll tell you what I got from this. Oh my God, what I just what you said something that was terribly profound. I wrote it down. Oh,
we're not doing this alone.
Yeah, he said that, and something else that I took down.
Well, at the end of the day, like we can't be on Zoom. We can't be on Zoom calls all day long. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you're gonna have moments of where you're alone. Even when you're with some people, sometimes you feel alone. You know what I mean? Like it's at the end of the day, like you go to bed, like I've been single for a long time, so I don't have a support system in that aspect. You know what I mean? I don't have that. So it's just right now, it's just me. Yeah, there's times where I'm talking to people here and there, and yeah, maybe I do feel a little better at that time. But then, this call has to end, and everybody goes their own ways, and there you go alone again. You know what I mean? And that's tough. And that's tough because then that's where, honestly, like, what's really been affecting me is I overwhelm myself. You know what I mean? Like I overwhelm myself with these thoughts, and that's what really starts to really, you know, um, starts to mess me up, I guess. Like it's not even the withdrawal symptoms or whatever the case is. It's just me making myself yeah, it's just me just going with it,
You
I
may
tell
be
you what,
by yourself, Danny. I did my journey by myself. I didn't have any support. But what I mean is you're not alone.
Oh yeah, is there millions of people going through it? Absolutely. But at that, but when you're there alone suffering, you don't think about that. You know what I mean? It's just like absolutely relevant that other people are going through it at that time because you tend to focus on your own pain at that time. You're not like, oh yeah, yeah, like so for example, in the future, I end up getting cancer. I'm like, oh yeah, shoot, there's a bunch of people that get cancer, and you just don't think like that. I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe it helps some people, but it doesn't really help me. Yeah,
I'd
because
like to
everybody's
comment
different.
on that. Hi,
yeah.
everybody.
Hi, I wanted to get to Kathy next,
Wait,
but before
wait,
we go to
wait,
Kathy,
Wait, hey,
wait, what?
go ahead.
Well, I just wonder, I had to just note exactly what Dan said. No such thing as luck. Thank you. That might be the title of the Zoom call. I don't know. Okay, I had to interject that. Your turn, Kathy. Hi, how are you?
No such thing as what?
Luck.
Oh, luck.
Oh, that was
I just wanted to comment about the loneliness because, like, I find like Friday night, I'm in Toronto. I don't know anybody. Friday night, I went to this ecstatic dance thing, kind of sacred movement, whatever. And I felt so fulfilled after being with people. But like Zoom and all that, I find like I just want it to last forever because I'm not feeling that, certain connection that I get when I'm in person with people. And when the Zoom call is ended, I'm like, oh my God, I still feel all alone. So I just wanted to, say that I feel the same way that you do, and it's lonely. That's all. Hi,
Well,
everybody.
like,
I love
stuff, girl. Yeah, like at the same time, like like I do have I don't like I said, I have very few friends. The older we get, the more friends we lose, right? Everybody knows that. Back in the day,
you.
I've had hundreds of friends. You know what I mean? And I at least I thought they were friends. They're more like acquaintances, I suppose. So
Mm.
you know what I mean? You don't like, yeah, maybe you have a person here or there, like, but you're not their priority. You're not their prerogative. At this, they don't even want to, like, you're over here trying to vent or whatever. And I don't know, maybe you guys have awesome friends around you or whatever, maybe family members, but yeah, they'll tell you, yeah, just hang in there. Okay, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll hang in there. Like I'll keep on doing what I've been doing. That really didn't help much. You're not anybody's priority, man. Like it's just at the end of the day, just everybody's on their own. Like and it's a fact. It's
No,
just
no, Danny.
Guys,
No,
your
no,
guys
no, no,
priority.
Danny. No, Danny. No, Danny. No, Danny. No, no, Danny. I
Here
know
it
it
comes.
feels like that. I know it feels like that. But you know what? The body was made so we could be alone. That's the whole point. So as long as you believe you're a Danny and you in a separate body, that is what it's made for, to feel alone. So you special. We all want to be special. You think you don't want to give up your story. We think, oh, I don't want to be my story. Yeah, we want our fucking stories real bad. And we don't even know it. We don't even know in the ways we feed them stories. So we just keep on being this victim, this hard done by, God doesn't really care. That's the underneath it all. I mean, if God doesn't care, and the Course in Miracles is here telling us who we are. We don't have a clue. We come in here thinking we're Raina, blood, whatever we're doing. And it's just a whole bunch of fantasy stories, really great stories. I love stories. I love stories. But the Course is telling us who we are. And there's no communication. The ego can't understand this. So know that if you ain't understanding it, that's because the not you doesn't want to understand this. You don't want to hear the truth. We're here for the truth. We can't stand anything else now. That's what's happened. We're so sensitive. We're so sensitive that we torture ourselves. We suffer because we feel alone, and we know that's not true. We know that's some kind of victim story we hold on to be separate. And we know better, but we don't know how to fix it because the ego don't want to fix it. You can't go to the ego. You have to believe in God. You have to have faith. And the Course says it's not that we don't have faith. We all have faith, but what is your faith in? In your sad story, oh, I'm separate. I don't have anybody. Nobody understands. I'm alone. I'm just, oh my God, this is, I got to pull myself out of this. I got to, those are,
don't give me,
there's no love in there. We're here for 100% unconditional love. And that's where we're fine-tuning our way to the truth. And that, you're right, Danny, can't be done by nobody else but us individually. But that one is everything, because everything is love. And until we all figure out that we don't want any of our stories that says we're not love 100%, and we start turning it around and feeding this, what the Course is always telling us, all that there's no ambiguity. You are love. You are the Son of God. You didn't create yourself. But we all believe like we do when we believe we are our stories. I believed I made myself, because what did God have to do with this? He ain't listening anyways. It's a real huge leap when we surrender. What are we surrendering to? To me, if I didn't find the truth, I would still be a crazy person attacking people randomly because I'm thinking you don't like me or you looked at me some kind of way. That was my mental.
Thank you,
something.
beloved. Oh, go ahead, Marcy.
Oh, just something Danny said. He was saying that, we're not like other people's priorities. Like you feel like you have friends, but it's like a casual kind of thing. And all I was going to say to Danny is, you said that you're not people's priorities. Well, you're God's priority. You are God's priority. Number one priority.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to think about, sitting there. Wow, thank you. Because it's not possible I could be your priority. It's not possible. Mm-hmm. But I believe I can feel that, Marcy. I can feel.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. I can feel that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share about the story. I find that once I'm in touch with the light or God's love or whatever you call it, that I can shine that onto myself, my story, my whatever. And that just, I don't know, it just emerges and it like connects and everything's beautiful and healed in that moment. So the story's okay, just to shine a light on that as well. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. It's resolved, isn't it? There's not a problem. That's what I hear you saying.
Yes.
Like I can be in a situation and be freaking out and everything, but if some light gets in here, right? I can calm down, I can get out, I can have some faith. I mean, things are transformed. We're here to stop suffering. That's why we're together here. We don't want to keep dragging everybody down the drain. That's what happens when you go in the mental health system. They're not encouraging. Danny's right. He ain't gonna get no help. Mm-mm. No, because they don't know how to help. They just doing the best they can, like airport security. They don't know how to keep the airport secure. That's, you can tell. I'm just teasing. But you see what I'm saying? When somebody says, oh, there's a problem, everybody wants to put the Band-Aids on and have a Band-Aid for it. No, we're not. I mean, such beautiful thing is, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have any hope if I didn't finally feel the truth.
Yes.
Isn't that, beloved, the message that I got was rest in God. And I thought that meant stop your doingness. And I'm like, you know what? That's like rest in the truth. Rest in that. Just rest in the truth. Yeah. Yeah.
What truth?
The truth that none of the stories are real.
That at no one single moment have we been a body. That's it. We're in this virtual reality game, people. This is it. These are AIs making more robots. This is how deep we've gone. We've been doing this. This is the mind of God. That God said, you can do anything with the powers because you are my son. You can go anywhere, but you will still. I created you. I mean, you know what? This sounds really gross, but this is how I think. I said, oh, I can just see God up there saying, oh, let me make some shit. Let me get a little bit of smell in here. Let me put some shit in it. Let me make some shit. Why would God make a body that shit? I just couldn't understand it. Like, I could have come up. Kenneth is an architect. He could come up with a better design. It just makes you laugh but it's such an outrageous idea to the ego. What? I'm not a body? What are you talking about, you crazy person? This is how radical this meeting is. This is how radical we're talking. I hear that all the time when I'm sitting here driving myself crazy.
Can I share something?
Identifying as an ego. Let me just say that. Identifying as an ego and listen to all that shit. I was like, at no single moment was I ever a body. At no single moment is the wave detached from the ocean. At no single moment is the sunbeam separated from the sun. It's just not possible. The Course has scientific arguments. You can't go up against. Try. Argue with the metaphysical science of the Course.
I lived 7 weeks with Pentecostal Lutherans here in Pittsburgh when I first arrived. There's a distant cousin, her husband is a Pentecostal Lutheran pastor, and I don't really know much about that variety of Christianity. So he explained to me there's an enemy out there. He said to me there's an actual enemy out there, and I listened really carefully. And I said, there's some truth. There is an enemy. But I said, it's not out there. I didn't say this out loud because I didn't want to be rude into my house, but I said, it's in here. The enemy is a belief. And it's tied just into the Course in Miracles, beloved, and everyone else. The enemy is this belief that, just rewind what beloved just said, belief that I am what I'm not. That's the enemy.
So we're not connected to God.
That's the enemy. It's a belief that I'm not the belief that I'm disconnected from God. So
It was a tiny mad idea.
Mad idea.
A tiny mad idea.
See how much we have in common with Pentecostal Christianity? It's just a little different. How's that going for you, Danny? Beloved's one of my star supporters. She just puts it all out there. Was that all right with you, buddy?
I mean, it's her beliefs, it's her thoughts. I mean, if I don't know. I have nothing to say about it.
It's heavy stuff that we bring in here, sometimes I got to bring us back because we go way out into the realms which it has to be. You can't. There's no linear way to present this material. It's got to be holographic, and sometimes we're just going to go straight for the jugular, say we're not a body, we're all connected to God, to source, and then we'll back.
Kenneth, how can you're a testament to it. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't true. You didn't get off these pills regular. There's no regular talk here. You didn't get off these pills regular. Come on now. That's what this whole meeting started.
And,
Because you
and
sitting here.
let me share one more thing. I haven't shared this with the group yet. Jody heard a little bit about it. I may be in a relationship. I don't want to go and speak of something which, you know, I don't know yet. But we've been spending a lot of time together the last month, a lot. And he's not a Course in Miracles student. As a matter of fact, he's a Presbyterian music minister. So you know, Course in Miracles, he's not interested in the metaphysics. But he said something from the very beginning, and it's a common thread that I want this documented. He said, you know, I've been supported this entire time. He said, there's never been a time, he's not said anything's been easy, but he said, I've always been supported. Isn't that interesting? Maybe there's something we can't see, taste, touch, smell, or hear behind the veil, which has got our best interest in mind. I'm just going to leave it at that. Hi, Greg. Greg, I want to introduce you to Dan. Dan, that's Greg. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Danny.
Hi,
What's up, bro?
Greg.
Hey,
What's
beloved.
up?
Marcy. Hey, Jody. Kathy.
Like your hair, Greg.
Oh, thank you. I just woke up.
Funky.
I say it's bad hair. Looks like mine when I get up in the morning.
Yeah. What y'all been up to?
Same thing we do every Sunday morning. We're just unwinding, we're expressing, we're sharing, and we're just connecting.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah.
Can I, sorry,
Go ahead.
I just want to go back to that, if we can, to what Danny was saying about doing it alone.
Yeah.
Because that was a real hard struggle for me, because I did it by myself. I didn't have any help. I had to walk away from Western medicine. I laid off my psychiatrist. I laid off my general practitioner. I had to walk away from the whole fucking system. My family is so unsupportive. Like, I literally, Danny, I had to do it by myself.
Yeah.
And I was an atheist. So I didn't believe what I believe now. I didn't know what I know now. So I totally get that. You're by yourself, and it fucking sucks. Because we can't do this.
At the
We
same
can't
time,
do this alone. Let me
at the same
finish.
time,
Let me
yeah, I agree.
finish. I'm no longer an atheist. I now understand that I'm never alone. And that's when we bring spirit into it. I am never alone. My ego wants me to feel separate. I am not my ego. That's the whole point here. This is the story that I've had to unwind. I am not alone. I'm never alone, even when I'm by myself. I am never alone. My ego wants me to play separate. That's the game here. So Danny, I get it. You're by yourself and it sucks. The system is not going to help you. It's not designed to help you.
Right.
But that's what we're here, unwinding that story.
Yeah.
You are never alone. Yeah, the Zoom call can't last forever, but you are never alone.
Yeah.
And we reach out to each other all the time. I will say that practically
Absolutely.
to anybody who's
reach
tuning
out.
into this YouTube video. I've had people call me, and I've called people. I mean, we do that. We have a Facebook page. We have a messenger group. I mean, we are here. It's not all woo-woo. I'm going to read the Course in Miracles back to you. But if you're calling me, you know what you're going to get. Because I have to be like that with me. Because I have such a strong pulled attachment to my story. I have a real strong, deep love for us. We all do, as long as we think we're in the body. So that's what we're really unwinding.
And basically, the whole premise of this ministry was because the mental health system failed me. And I realized, well,
Yeah.
I could stay in that story, or I could write a new one. Let's write a new story here. It's because the mental health system failed me and failed Jody and failed Greg and failed Marcy. that we're going to start something brand new here. You know, I don't know what the exact quote is. Nature abhors a vacuum. It's because the mental health system is defunct that this is going to germinate now, and this excites me. And this is why Jody said earlier, nothing's gone wrong in her story. You're fine, Dan. I've never heard any negativity out of you. But the first time that we connected, you know, with that first outreach call, you said you were going to do something about it, and I just want to take the ball and run with you. Good going. I always see, like they say in New Zealand, good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to extend to you, Danny, that you can call me anytime and we'll talk about whatever. Because we can't
That's
do
cool.
this alone.
Appreciate that.
Even though we're not alone, we can't do it alone. We need each other to remind, you know, ourselves of who we really are and all that stuff.
Yeah. I have missed y'all.
Go ahead.
Missed you too.
Sorry, I have to break out with this. Michael Jackson is singing from heaven right now. You ready? You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, I am here to stay. You are not alone. Always a song.
Now that's recorded on YouTube also.
Yeah.
Anybody know how to like do snip? I want to learn how to edit these. There's so many sound bites. I could make a short out of that. Put on TikTok.
Yeah. I've been thinking about y'all for a couple of weeks now. It's good to see y'all. It really is. Yeah. The Bach remedies have blown my mind again. I took about 4 days ago, I started taking one called agrimony. And the thing about the Bach remedies is, you know, they're not suppressive. And agrimony was the most unsuppressive thing I've ever felt. It brought up all the demons. It brought them up and out of me. And I was pissed. And there was a lot of anger down there. A whole lot of anger. It was agrimony. Yeah. And she's given me something to stabilize me with for about the past for yesterday, but boy, I didn't. I thought I had resolved the anger, but what I had done was pushed it down. You know.
Well, also remember that Jody and I have talked so many times about the concept of the spiral, which is so true for all of us, that we think it's supposed to be, you know, healed when we're supposed to revisit it.
Like a helix, a double helix kind of.
No, well, a spiral means we will revisit it, but we're at a higher point on the spiral, so we have a little bit different high perspective of the same issue.
Yeah.
So these are some of the nuances that we all share together, because mine, you know, as if mine has gone away. Yeah, that's the old caterpillar trying to make it go away, trying to heal it. No, see, this is perfect, Greg. I'm glad you brought this up, because when it comes back, it's the same thing that Beloved has been saying, that Mars has been saying, that Jody's been saying. Who's the one who's having it? You know, sit in the theater with Jesus, have some popcorn, and watch the movie of Kenneth revisit his childhood wounding. You know, no, from a completely detached. Is that hard work? Hell yeah! For thousands of years, they've been telling us, you know, who we are. We are our thinking. That's what Eckhart Tolle was saying in The Power of Now. It's the belief that we are this stream of thoughts, and the stream of thoughts is attached to stories. This is groundbreaking, Greg. Thank God it came up. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't have had material here to share. It came up. You brought it in here. You shared it with all of us. And this is where the alchemy takes place. Jody, Marcy, Beloveds, Kathy, Danny, and Greg and Kenneth. This is where our alchemy, this is the new paradigm. The old paradigm was just putting pills on top of it.
Well, with homeopathy, it's like, you know, it takes a while to find the right remedy and the right thing. And I thought I was about done with the Bach remedies, but I've been taking one for that. I've been taking for fear. I've been taking it for some stuff. And I just realized, damn, I have a whole new like smorgasbord of remedies to do. And it's just like, damn, it's like more healing. And it was painful. It was painful as fuck. Sometimes I'll do a remedy for a Bach remedy for about a month and a half. I did this for 4 days, and things came up that I did not believe could ever come up. And it'll probably be a couple of months working with this, and it's going to be, I mean, there's shit down there that I didn't realize.
Look at you. You're on that means you are on the fast track. See?
Yeah.
You're on the fast track because you're going through it.
Yeah.
It's not able to be suppressed. It's letting out. It's so beautiful to see. Tell me about your anger. Is it sourced or is it just general? Is it just?
It was, I hate to admit this, but it was a victim anger. It was an anger about psychiatry. It was an anger for being left alone. Like, Danny and Jody are talking about probably. That was it. It was feeling alone, and it was feeling discarded and everything. So it was mostly discarded. And men are not allowed to have feelings in our culture, and it's just the biggest bullshit in the world. Yeah. I mean, it's in general. It's in general. I say that, women too, but we live in an anti-emotion world.
Certainly extreme emotion. Anger scares people.
Yeah. Well, it scared me. I was actually sweating and having palpitations at one point. Almost gave me a heart attack. So, luckily it didn't, I guess. But it was yeah. I mean, I think I've been manning up and pulling myself up by the bootstraps so much that finally, yeah. I don't mean to be sexist. It's for women too, but it's I was just really surprised. I was just really surprised all that. And I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm glad I'm getting to this before I get off the pills, that I can do the work that's probably underneath the pills before I get off of it. And then I'm surprised, like, holy shit, I can't handle this, So
Great.
it was a good remedy. It's 1 to 38. And I didn't think I would ever have to really, truly use it. But this one, yeah, it was blowing my mind.
Greg, I could not be more thrilled. What you just shared was, I'm beyond words at how valuable I think that is for this recording. Because I have to end this recording, you guys. Okay. I got to be somewhere in 3 minutes. So you guys can have the Zoom room as long as you want. But for this Zoom recording for psychiatric sobriety for Sunday morning Zoom support call, Sunday, September 17th, I've been here with Jody, Marcy, beloved Kathy, Danny, and Greg. You guys, thank you. You have kept me psychiatrically sober for one more day and reminded me what my purpose is in life. My purpose is to unbelieve the dream character who had all the mental illnesses in the first place, to simply reconnect and be happy and open my own heart. You guys, I couldn't be more thrilled.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, as I end every recording, God bless. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave your comments below. More important than the comments. Well, the comments are helpful too. Thank you, by the way, Marcy. Come on board. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time. Go into the description line. I've got all the information for the Facebook page, for the group chat, and even more important, for these Zooms. We're, like we said today, we're starting something new. We've all been let down by the mental health system. Perfect, because someone had to create a mental health system that was coming from a true place. We all chose to be let down by the mental health system so we could create a mental health system that was effective. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
I'm calling it psychiatric sobriety, and so with the rest of us. Thank you for watching. God bless, and may the force be with you. Bye.
Bye. I don't know what